Howdy peeps, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're just going to be doing a sort of 2 year and a bit follow-up review on the Fluval Flex 57 litre 15 gallon tank. As you can see, it's obviously not sprung a leak because it's still holding water. So 2 years in, impressions, nothing I can fault. Lights still work superbly, the tank still holds water, the lid hasn't cracked, the remote still works, pump is still going, original filter sponge is still in there. Yeah, it just works. Worth the money on it, especially if you can find one when they're on sale, as it were. I think they sometimes come down to about £100 from the more normal 150. And you can see all the fishies are happy in there, healthy, as everyone seems to know. This is a tank I show fairly regularly. Plants are doing well, just some gravel and coarse sand in with the substrate, which is gradually getting all mixed together. As you may be able to see by the amount of nerite eggs on the substrate. And there's Mr. Crib. The nerites are happy in there as well. I mean, the Anubias has gone somewhat nuts. It's supposed to be a Nana Petite. Is it? Or just a Nana? I think it might be a Nana. But yeah, that's growing away like crazy. All the other plants are too. Come around this side. Some of the nerites are getting quite large. Oh, hang on. Both cribbies are out and about. Are there eggs in the hut or are there not? Yeah, chances are there probably are. That is the magical coconut hut of crib breeding +1. So if we, and this is probably going to do weird stuff with the lights, so as you can probably see, the lights are still working. Down the back we have the pre-filter compartment, which I keep empty. The actual sponge part of the filter. And we have the pump, the heater and an air stone in there. Just because I use the air stone when I've got fry in the breeder box. Things I've found over my course of a couple of years owning the tank. Obviously when the filter starts to get clogged, the water level, if we come around this side, the water level in the back compartment there starts to drop, which is kind of a sign that you need to clean this filter sponge out. And then the back compartment this side, which is where a lot of people keep the heater, I basically just keep empty, is a great place for fry to hide. When I've had, cribs don't, but when I had platies in here, whenever they dropped fry, that compartment was full of baby platies. Cribs, obviously with the parents looking after them, they tend to stay in a big cloud and do what they're told. Yeah, baby bristlenoses get back there as well sometimes. Snails. The only downsides I've found with this tank are also parts of the upsides. So, excuse the dirt, muck. Feeding hole in the top. Nerite snails can escape from it. And they do. These ones can't, they got too big now. Well, not from that hole, they can still get out of there. But there's also the hole at the back, or gap, where the, if I can angle the camera, where all the power leads go in, and air leads and what have you, air lines. And they can also escape from there. But, you know, a lot of people run their tanks without lids, so having a couple of escape holes that snails can get out of isn't really an issue. You know, there are far worse problems to have with the tank. Generally, if the flow starts to drop, you'll notice you'll have a lower flow in the tank. That's just another clue. It's just pull the pump out. Easy enough is just unscrew the outlet attachment, lift it straight out the tank, and then pop is it the front or the back? I can't remember. The bit where the water gets sucked into the pump, just pull that off. Clean out the sponge inside there, because that does, yeah, it does its job. It gets full of the gunk that makes it through the filter, and that can get clogged up, which then leads to a drop in flow. So just give that a good clean out and job done. If you've not done it for a while, good idea to hold a net over the outlet when you turn the pump back on, just to catch all the crud that will blow out of the inlets. And that's about it. It's the only minor downsides I can find, but you know, any pump is going to need its pre-filter, post-filter cleaning. Filters are going to need to be cleaned anyway. If you've got a feeding hole, you've got a feeding hole. If you haven't, you've got to lift the whole lid up usually, which can be an absolute pain. Especially if you've already got the food in your hand, you're trying to lift the lid, and yeah. Anyway, so Fluval Flex 57 or 15 if you're in America. Great tank. I can't fault them in any real way. The fact that the bow front is vertical rather than horizontal means you don't get weird reflections going on and weird rainbows on the walls when the sun's in the right direction and Jupiter's rising and all that good stuff. Yeah, if you're thinking about getting one of these tanks, I'd say go for it. The 9 gallon is basically exactly the same, just smaller. The 32 is a little different in the filter department. Obviously it's probably got a bigger pump in there and probably a bit more sponge, but that's about the only real difference. Light wise, as I say, that's the original lights that came with it. Are they highlight? I'd call them medium light. I run them turned down actually, and I haven't got any of the colours on, just the pure white lights, as it reduces the amount of algae I get. Yeah, there we go. Great tanks, can't fault them. Well, nothing worthwhile reporting as a fault anyway. I mean, I'm sure there are people out there who've had things go wrong, or I've heard people say that the glass is too thin. It's not. I've got tanks with much thinner glass. It's held up to my abuse for 2 and a bit years, so it's plenty strong enough. So anyway, there we go. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Enjoy your fish keeping. Have fun. Peace out. Rock on. Bye bye.